Hi all, this is Dr. Rashi Chaturvedi with another RCBG Insights for you. This is again an HBR article, a very beautiful article on how the leaders should communicate. The leaders, they need to edit to connect, it says. And it shows the importance of strategic editing coaching. And I also believe in that. Being a professional impact coach, I actually believe the true essence of communication for the C-suite leaders is very, very important. And strategic editing is what every leader should learn. So, what I must say is that at the executive level, it is actually very, very important for any kind of new CEO or a new C-suite leader to learn how to talk, what to talk, when to talk, how to frame their communication, what to ask, when to ask, and how to ask. This is very, very important. And no doubt your words at this kind of senior position carries a lot of weight. And the team, the employees, they look up to you for clarity, for confidence. So it's actually important to communicate effectively, efficiently, with confidence, with clarity, with transparency. So there's a lot at stake, what I must say. So they have segregated our over communicating leaders into five types. Now, what are those five types? See, in high stake environment, people actually look up to senior leaders. And when the communication is unclear and unfiltered, what happens is the team gets confused and the organization lacks growth and it becomes stagnant. And actually, it is true. So, the first type of over communicating leader, as such, was like a straight shooter. Straight shooters is like whatever they want to say, they will say, telling as it is, without any framing the sentence, any thoughtful statements, or they will just say the blunt statements. But on the other hand, what will this kind of attitude do? See, that could damage the morale of the employee or the team, obviously shutting down the growth. So I must say at this kind of executive level, whatever you are communicating about the business and the people around you, to whom you are communicating, what you are communicating, when you are communicating, it's very, very important. The next type of communicator or the leader is the idea generators. Now, the idea generators, what are those? The idea generators are basically our innovators. Innovators कह लो, creative persons कह लो, या ऐसे CEOs जो बहुत what I must say, they are vibrant. They have every kind of idea with them, and they are like out of the box. They think out of the box. But here the catch is, you are thinking, you are just thinking. There is no strategic framing of the idea. You have not done anything. It is just at a very, very conceptual stage. It is actually सिर्फ तुम्हारा जहन में मैं कह सकती हूँ चीज़ें हैं, and we are actually blabbering it out to the team. We can do that, but there is a certain way of doing it, right? You cannot just blabber out your blind ideas. What will happen when you blabber out your new ideas, when the new ideas are shared without any context? What will happen to the team? The team again will be confused, right? So this is it. Then comes your anxious communicators. Now, who are these anxious communicators? They basically overshare their uncertainties in the name of honesty, transparency. So their indecisive approach gets shown to the team. Again, it will lead to unnecessary, unambiguous updates. Ambiguous updates, I must say. And basically, again, eroding employees' confidence, clarity. Matlab, these are the things, it's very, very general, very, very specific. And these are the things which are there in the organization, and we all might have done someday or the other. But कहते हैं ना कि if we are not retrospecting things, and if we are not introspecting ourselves, then we are not good leaders. We need to improvise our skills. So this is one of it. Then comes the TMI leaders, that is too much information giving leaders. So these kind of leaders, they don't have any personal and professional boundaries. They share everything there, their personal stresses, their doubts, their emotions, together with the professional things, again, which could lead to kind of discomfort and credibility issues in the team. Then comes the detailed over explainers. What are detailed over explainers? That is, during any kind of executive meetings, the leaders, they overload the meeting with unnecessary complexities. The agenda is X, but they will talk about the Y, or the technical front, or the technical nuances which are not incorporated in the agenda today. So then what happens? The team gets deviated to discuss those micro agendas, or those micro communication starts on, and your basic communication, or the basic conversation for which the executive meeting has been lined up, just goes waste. So the time goes waste, energy goes waste, and you are not discussing anything fruitful. There is no, the purpose of the meeting goes waste. And finally, there is no growth, there is no productivity. Now, how to learn this strategic editing skill? I'm just telling you a very, very basic layout for that. See, to learn this skill, basically the communication, you have to adjust your communication to your role. I could give you an example, like a manager thought process, and a C-suite leader's thought process, or a CEO's thought process, or the way the communication should be governed, right, or dictated, is very, very different. You can very well segregate a manager from a CEO. You should. If you are unable to actually distinguish who is the manager, who is the CEO, then there is a problem, and you need this coaching, I must say. So the first one is, you need to recognize everything you say or you don't say, and no doubt it carries weight. So whatever you wish to, whatever you are planning, whatever you want to say, whether it is on a very, very early stage, or you've just come out of a board meeting, or they have just briefed you with anything, you wish to actually declare it in front of the team, so that you are quoted as being transparent and real, you can do it, not a problem. But there you need to actually modify your communication by some quotes like, I'm just thinking out loud right now, we have just get over with the board meeting, and this was discussed, I am right now just discussing this with you, please don't take it at a different level, this is not formulated. You need to actually set in this tone with the team before the meeting starts, right, or in the meeting before the introduction of your communication. Then comes the clarity of your audience and the outcome. Now this is your preparation before going to a meeting, or before calling any team for in departmental meeting or any internal meeting. You should know what kind of audience you have, what they feel, what they know, and how they react, and what you want them to think, what you want, how you want them to react, right? What should be the result of this meeting? What should be the final outcome of this communication? All these things and the preparations should be done at your end before the communication begins. Finally, prepare and pause. Obviously, a lot of executive communications happens in the real time. You don't get the time to prepare for the meetings at times. So in between the meetings, when it, just in case you get anything in your head or anything you are thinking about, write it down on a piece of paper, pause, think about it, whether this is actually in line with the agenda, or what will happen. Again, those four questions: what is the audience sitting, who is the audience, How will they think? What will they think? Should I pitch in right now or should I wait? Right? What kind of response I want from my kind of question, what I will be asking. So, should I ask it now or should I ask it later? So, this should be the most important point. Then, frame your message strategically. There is a very good research done by Tversky and Daniel on behavioral economics, which shows people respond very differently to the same information depending on how it is framed. I give you an example. If we are talking about any kind of disease, any kind of endemic, epidemic, whatever, just in case if I tell you ki, the XYZ disease has X% of survival rate, and on the other hand, I tell you the XYZ disease has a Y% of death rate. Now, your thought process from the survival rate talk to the death rate talk differs, right? One is a positive, the other is on a negative note. So it actually differs. So you should know when you are talking, when you are communicating anything to anyone, what impact will your communication have on the person. And the best way to do this is to have a mentor with you whom you can trust, to have a coach with you, to have a guide with you permanently whom you can trust, to have an advisor with you permanently, a business advisor or your impact coach or your strategic editing coach with you, or any advisor whom you can trust. And before going in for any kind of communication, just talk to that advisor, ask him those questions, tell him about your communication, and just ask him or her how this message, how does this message land with you? What do you take away from it? What needs to be changed or clarified or simplified? How can you make it more inspiring or impactful? After getting the insight, just modify or reinvent your communication and you are good to go. So, for this kind of coachings, strategic editing coaching, apart from the soft skill coaching, leadership coaching, POSH, POXO, anything, I'm here right in front of you, Dr. Rashi Chaturvedi, your professional impact coach from RC Business Growth Consultancy. You can contact me anytime, you can DM me. I'm sharing my contact details in the video as well, so you can contact me anytime for the same. Thank you. Signing off, Dr. Rashi Chaturvedi. Have a nice day.